Um, all right, so let's continue working on the assignment. Right now, notice that the landing page is not showing, and there's nothing mapped to this route. Okay, the slash, the root of the assignment. So let's map that to something. We had created a page for this, right? If you remember, we had created a home page for this, right? And I believe we had called it home. There it is. It's this one, which if we just type home.html, this is what we wanted to show, right? Or whatever content we have for the landing page. So let's work on this. So let's see. We are configuring the routing using Angular routing, and we configured it in a config file. And in this config file, we had mapped several routes. One that allowed us to load login. Yes. Yeah, several students had suggested that instead it would make more sense to land on a home page. Yeah, so right, I would need to update that somehow. Yeah, I think it makes more sense that it lands on a home page on some. I'm sorry. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, let's move that to the next assignment. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sure. But let me cover that now. So for that route, it would be the default route. We could say that if the slash can navigate to the home page. So let's move the home page to a view so that it's not so that it can be injected inside of the into the view. So let's move it into. Okay, we didn't create a views directory, right? And I think we had asked you to put everything in the views directory. Notice that we have several things that are grouping together certain artifacts that are all the same, right? So for instance, all the services are going to fall under the services directory, right? Services for handling user data, website data, page data, and so on and so forth. So notice that we have several views here that handle users, that handle websites, that handle widgets. So it's a good idea to grab all those like terms, right, and put them all in the same under same directory. So we had suggested in the assignment to put them all under a views directory. So all these views of website, widget, and user, we'll move it under the views directory. And that means that we're going to have to re-update all references to all the existing views, right? We're going to have to put them all under views, under all these, which is easy enough. That a good thing that we only have one single place to maintain, right? If the pages knew about themselves, I would need to open up every single page, right, and have to update every single page, all the hyperlinks that would know that navigate it. Instead, I have a single page, any single place that I can maintain that easily. So let's move the home also in there. Oops. Let's put it under views. No, under views. There it is. And let's give it a let's rename it, refactor it, and we'll call it home dot view dot client, and also convert it so that it's no longer a full-blown HTML document. Instead, it's just a template. So let's remove all the heads, the body, everything that we don't need in there. And then at the bottom, this as well. All right, that looks right. That looks okay. Let's create the route that would load that home page. So it would be route. There it is, and it would be under views, under home. That view, that client, and there is no controller for it, but certainly you could have a controller. So if we now load there it is, right? So now it becomes the default, right? If I now go to the here and I refresh and I click on the assignment, notice that it navigates me to the landing page, right, which is now the home page. Right? And in here, you could have this home page behave differently depending on whether somebody's already logged in or somebody is anonymous, right? So if we don't know who you are, you haven't logged in, we might provide here very generic content. But if we knew who you were, perhaps we can have this home page, show some content that is particular to you, right? It might greet you, welcome back, whoever you are, right? And then, if you have created any content recently, any new articles, if you've liked any recent songs, any new recipes that you've created or uploaded, they might list here as showing your latest activity. Instead, if this would be an anonymous user who hasn't logged in, we don't know who they are. We might provide generic content here, right? We might show activity for the entire website, right? Who has created the latest articles? What's trending? What songs are trending? What movies are trending? But it would be generic. We don't know who you are, so we might provide generic content. Make sense? Also, the logins at the links at the top might also change. If you're an anonymous user and we don't know who you are, we might provide a link for you to register, to log in. But we certainly would not provide a link to your profile because we don't know who you are. Right? So we would not provide a profile link. Also, we would not provide you a logout link since, again, we don't know who you are. Also, admin, we might not show that if we know who you are. But if you do log in, then login and register would not show up. Whereas maybe we would show profile and we would show logout too, right? Because you are logged in. And admin, we would show it only if you're logged in and you have a particular role, the admin role. Yes? Okay. So this landing page should be smart. That's something you should build into your projects. Your landing page should adapt, right? And show one thing for anonymous users and another thing for somebody who's logged in. Yes? Right? And also should show should be behave differently, perhaps depending on your role. Either provide links that are particular to a particular role, or other links to someone who has a different role. So let's work on changing these links and playing around with that a little bit. Okay, we'll do that next.